In this video, I'm going to take you through harvesting and drying basil, as well as harvesting and drying dill. Something I've never done before. Let's do it together.
Hello everyone, I'm Matt Dash, and welcome to A Dash of Green.
This is my first time ever growing basil. So, needless to say, I have never harvested it or dried it out to be able to preserve it. So I had to do a lot of research to figure out the best way to do it, and I'm going to show you right here. The first method of harvesting the basil is by taking the leaves off the base of the plant. This ensures that the plant grows tall and big if that's what you're looking for. I don't really like this method here because the leaves at the base of the plant are not really big, so it would take a lot for you to be able to accumulate any considerable amount. The second method, and the method I like the best, is topping. You cut it off right here where the top stalk meets the rest of the plant. You cut it right down even with it, and the plant won't get any bigger, but it'll bush out, and that, from what I've seen so far, yields bigger leaves. Seeing as I've never harvested before or dried it out before, I'm only taking a little small bit so I can test out the drying process so I can get it perfected before I do any really big harvesting. And here's my small bounty. I'm about to take it inside and wash it off, but before we do that, we're going to go ahead and start harvesting the dill. Like the basil, I've never grown dill before, so I did a little bit of research and I only found one way of harvesting it, so that's what we do here, and I'll explain it to you. At the base of all of these dill plants is a little cone-shaped shoot. You can take off every bit of the plant as long as you leave those little, you see them little two shoots down there, the plant will come back and grow as if it's brand new. So that's what I'm going to do with this plant. We're just going to do one, because like I said, I've never done it before. I'm going to clip off everything except for them two shoots and the little cluster in the center. It seems like it's a little premature to take that out. Now with the majority of the branches off, you can better see them two little cone-shaped shoots I'm talking about at the bottom. So now we're going to take the dill inside and the basil inside and get it washed up to dehydrate. Unfortunately, my dehydrator was at my son's house, so this is the next day after he brought it to my house. So the basil and the dill have been sitting out, so they don't look as spry as they were, if you will. So we go ahead and put a single layer on the base of the dehydrator. I got 5 stages in this dehydrator, so I can do a whole lot more, and I do later on. But this is only a single layer, and I do it for about an hour. When I have all 5 stages full, I rotate all the stages until all 5 of them have been through, and I rotate the stages every hour. Now it's time to pick off the stems and then get them grinded up, because you don't want stems in there. That's not part of the herb that you want to use. Grind it up with my hands because I don't have a grinder yet. You want to get it crushed up and as small as you possibly can. It makes it easier for use. Now on to the dill. Like I said, I picked these yesterday and I had them hanging upside down in my office. Because that's another way that you can dehydrate these things, is to put it in a well-ventilated area that is a mild temperature, and that's actually recommended to get a better flavor, but who's got time to do that? And it would make my office smell like dill for weeks. Dill is considerably larger than the basil, so they take up a lot more room, so I had to use 2 stages on this. It's been an hour, so now it's time to rotate the stages. Now that it's all dehydrated, it's time to take the dill off the stalks, because you don't want the stalks in the dill seasoning itself. As you saw, I just lifted up a little plastic baggie. That's got the basil in it. The reason why I have it in the plastic baggie is because that is a good way to test on whether you've had it dehydrated enough. If you put it in the sandwich baggie and it's not dehydrated enough, there will be water molecules in there. You do not want that, because that will cause mold and spoilage. Now you don't want to do dill like you do the basil. You don't want to crush it all up. You want to kind of keep the seeds whole, but I'm doing this to try and get any remaining pieces of stalk out of it that I may have missed. Check that out, fresh dill that I grew myself. Love it. Alright, so after doing the plastic bag test and seeing that they were dehydrated enough, I realized I didn't have any containers to hold it in, so I bought this little kit here. It had the grinder, which I didn't have, and now there is this funnel here so you don't get it all over the place when you go to pour it in. It also comes with labels and 12 bottles. As you can see, this was a little bit later on than when I first picked them, because in the background there is 5 layers of basil being dehydrated. And there you have it. Fresh basil, fresh dill that has no chemicals, no fertilizers, just compost and water.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Until next time, keep your thumbs green.